Hey everyone. So, welcome to the new podcast. So we have chief guest Sarvani from USA, right?
Yes, yes.
Right.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. So, basically, yes, Sarvani, you please tell us about yourself and about your education background and how was the journey switching from a non-coding background to the coding background. So, please tell us about that.
Sure. I'm a career slasher, and I think but within 2 minutes, you would agree with what I'm saying that. I did my bachelor's in civil engineering at NIT Calicut. After that, I worked on my own startup, Fundicate, for an year. It's more about teaching high school students beyond works and conducting innovative competitions, workshops. To gain industrial exposure, I moved to Time and worked almost 2.5 years as a maths faculty. After that, though I was thoroughly enjoying my journey, I had an urge to work on some real life problems and see whether I could create an impact. So that's the reason I felt I wanted to make a career transition and started working as a data analyst at Fedfina. So to brush up the gaps that are needed, I did some courses and watched some YouTube videos to upskill myself. And also, I realized uh, how vast the data analytics tasks, and also got a chance to work on some data science projects like classification, clustering tasks. So felt it's very vast, and there is a need for understanding more, and pursued my master's in data science at UB. And during that time, I worked as a research assistant with Sunny Research Foundation and worked as a data science intern with Cyber Intol and Softura. Currently, I'm working as a full-time data scientist at Softura.
Great, great, great. So you mentioned your education. You have done BTech, right? BTech here from which branch?
Civil engineering.
Civil engineering. So completely a very different background, right?
Yes,
So currently you are working as a data scientist, right?
yes.
So while you were learning the while you were upskilling, what was your mindset? You must have come across like coding part, है ना? And in between you must have felt like it is tough, I feel. How could you cope up and still continued learning your journey, continued your journey while learning and finally became data scientist? So please tell us about that.
So, I mean, honestly, for any career slasher or someone switching or having a career transition or coming from a non-coding background, we always have a thought that we don't know a lot, and it's a different experience. Sometimes we learn a lot of things. It's very overwhelming to take them at first place. So all I would suggest is try to keep it slow, be patient and consistent. So the first thing that I did is try to make myself familiar with the fundamentals. So I started learning Python and how can I apply Python on the data science or data analytics tasks. And whenever I learn something, I try to put it into practice. And I started creating portfolios. I made sure the domain is a very important aspect in data science or data analyst tasks. So I choose the areas that I'm extremely interested in, and also made sure I have a diverse portfolio when I'm selecting the projects. And it's a rapidly evolving field. Honestly, 1 year back, how we had pursued data science, and after the open AI, ChatGPT, it's a revolution and it keeps on upgrading. So keep up your pace and keep upskilling is what I would suggest for a data
Right, a
scientist.
good point, very good point you have mentioned. You must be very consistent. Okay, you should not be in a hurry mode. Slowly you should,
Yeah.
gradually you should learn step by step, and then patience must be there, है ना? So that is very much required. When you learn something, you sometimes fail, you don't understand, you lose hope, you lose interest. So that there you require that patience to bounce back. That is great. And one important thing, diverse portfolio, like you worked on different projects, right?
Yes.
That
Yeah.
helped you learn a lot. So that is good to know. Fine. So a good point, learn consistently, diversify your portfolio, है ना? So very good point. So what is your views about data science domain or data analyst domain? current scenario. So why I'm asking this question? Basically, there is lot of learner or data enthusiast who has the mindset that there is a very less scope in the data domain. Okay. So please tell us about that part.
So I mean, yeah, uh, the jobs are increasing in the data science domain, but honestly, the competition is also. So what I would definitely say is just if you're not familiar with where to go, just try to see some good courses which can teach from the fundamentals and have good reviews from the people and which are pocket friendly, and that can really help you out if you're someone who has no idea like what to do or where to go. And there are a lot of people over the LinkedIn or any other platforms who are open to help, share their experiences, and guide you. So might be try reaching out them would also really help.
Right, right. So what is, already you are into the market, already you are working. So what is your view about the job openings or the current requirement in the market?
So as a data scientist, it's again a very vast field. I would suggest if you're entry level person, as I said, keep a little bit diverse in your portfolio and work on domains that you are interested in. So that could help a good connection when you are having a conversation with the people. And other things that I would say is get familiarized with Python or R. I know a lot of people would think now the chat GPT exists, so only if I ask what needs to be done, it will give me, I'll copy the code and do. But that's not how. At least when you give the code and if it gives the error, you need to understand why what it is saying and why it is saying. So that
Right,
familiarity needs to be there. And get familiar with Git, Docker, that can also help in real life scenarios. And also learn with cloud how you can solve the problems on the cloud. So that's important. And now the prompt engineering is coming up if you're planning to work on LLMs or LMMs. So try to learn that aspects. And one other thing is you can use Medium to learn about a lot of people who write about data science advancements. That is something you could check it out.
right. In every field, almost AI is involved, data science is involved, data analytics is involved. One day I was just reading out one news that CEO of Canada Bank, he mentioned that almost A to just traditional whatever growth they were having, the
Yeah.
general growth year to year what they were having, above that 8 to 11% of growth they had just because of data analysis and AI involvement. So this AI is helping a lot. Even in the tax department in India, almost 36,000 crores of tax is already collected using artificial intelligence. And those who have done fraud in that, they have just sent a notification that you have to refile it.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it is booming in the ways that we don't even expect. I mean, a lot of fields have been rapidly getting evolved, and
right,
I think very soon we should keep ourselves upskilled to a place where we can use AI to the best. So
100%, yeah.
otherwise, we would be easily replaced.
Definitely we have to upskill ourselves and make ourselves in such a way that we are into the pace with the other people.
Yeah,
Right. So currently you are working with right?
Softura, yes.
Software. So how was your interview with Softura? So what kind of questions were there, and how the process was there?
With Softura, it was they came to our college to give a seminar about their company as such. So after the interview, after the seminar, they have asked whoever are interested could share their resumes, and uh, they sh- and after attending their session, I felt it matches with my career aspirations and the work culture that I want to be part of. And I shared my resume, and they shortlisted a few people based on the resumes. We had one long interview where I was touched upon multiple things. I was checked my familiarity with Python, statistics, machine learning, and then I was deep dived and asked questions on my projects. They checked my familiarity with the cloud and how can I apply a data science projects, or my familiarity in the working with the cloud. Also, there were a few behavioral questions to check whether I would be a role fit or cultural fit to the company. After that, I was selected. But yeah, with Softura, with one round, they were able to assess the person whether they could be right fit or not. But it depends upon the companies to companies. Some companies may have a lot of rounds, and some if you may have less. Generally, the kind of data science rounds that would happen is like case studies, or sometimes it's presentation rounds. Sometimes they give take home challenge questions. Sometimes it's coding assessments you could get, or presentation rounds, or rounds with business leadership people. What you could actually do is, like, if you get an interview, one advice I would suggest is go to the LinkedIn and see who actually were working on that particular role, and try to send a customized message to get their interview experience. Just that they were interviewed, they know the actual process and how it is going to be. You would get definitely better answers, or better way to make your preparations. And also check Glassdoor for interview experiences. And if you get to know about a hiring manager, or you know uh, the job description, if you're clear with that, give it with the chat GPT, and even try to know what kind of questions you could expect in the interview. That could really help.
Right. So this interview happened in Calicut, NIT Calicut, right?
No, this was in Softura, right? So I'm working in the US.
Okay, while you were in the of course, interviewing company was Softura, but the interview that took place, that was in NIT Calicut, right?
No. I did my master's in UB, Newark. So it happened.
Okay. Great. So while you were in this civil background in the NIT Calicut, and then you moved to US and finally switched to data domain. So there might be so many questions in the mind. I don't know what kind of questions they are going to ask. I belong from a civil background, but I have to switch. You mentioned that there were some behavior questions, whether they can realize or not, I will fit to the particular domain or not, right? But how could you manage that? Like, how will I be answering so that they will be giving me the opportunity to work? So that
So
kind of a stress will be there, right? So from civil and switching to data domain, that a stress will be there. Like, what kind of questions will they ask? How will I answer? So regarding that, I'm asking.
I mean, I did civil, and also had another middle stop in the education sector, and then I came to data science. So it's a two-way stop. So initially,
Yeah.
I was feeling even very overwhelmed. Like, I have a very diverse experience, and how could uh, I answer the questions when they shoot me on? That's when I actually felt uh, I need to sell my transferable skills. So, being someone who switched multiple careers, and someone who is ability to have an ability to learn tasks very quickly, and work with uncertainty. So that's what a very important skill a data scientist do need. And I worked as a faculty for almost 2.5 years. So I'm very good with communicating to the people, those who don't know complex concepts like calculus, and teaching, making them understand it very simple. So I used to tell them, like, I can convey the points or any technical concepts to non-technical stakeholders very easily. So even the civil domain, I have good knowledge. So if the company is working on any projects related to civil manufacturing, my familiarity would be much more better than someone who is not from that background. So definitely try to think how you could add value to the company other than the person who just went to the regular computer science background. It might take a few brainstorming sessions to understand how you would be a diverse person or how you would add value to the company. But that's what we should actually think about.
Right, right. So what is your suggestions while preparing a resume?
So what I would suggest is try to keep it a one-page resume, and there would be a lot of sites, like VMock or Resume Worded or Teal to give your scores. Uh, Once, what I would say is like create your resume with adding your LinkedIn, GitHub profiles, and any portfolios you have made, and a one-line summary of yours. If you're a student, add your education experience first. Otherwise, your work experiences. And whenever you're writing your work experiences, make sure you tell clearly in every point what you did and how it benefited the company. Add
Right.
proper keywords that could help you clear ATS. And if you have done any license certifications, make sure you add them. And any achievements that you think would make you stand out, feel free to add them.
Definitely. So if I would like to ask you, stressing on the projects which you have done, right?
Hmm.
So minimum like how many projects we should try to mention, and what kind of questions we can expect from the projects?
So I would ideally suggest 3 projects would be good to go.
Mhm.
And when you look at the job description, you get an idea of what would be the uh, app projects for
Expectation.
US. So generally,
Mhm.
I have a particular master resume which would be 2 to 3 pages where I write every point of mine and keep it safe. But depending upon what the particular role is needing, I just try to add those projects. If the projects, if the company job description is focused more on NLP projects, that's what I would like to put in. If they are focused on more supervised learning tasks, so I keep that regression classification problems. And also, when you want to answer, all I would suggest to the new joiners is, or someone who is starting is, they always think having a deep learning or having something, very big would add value. It's not what you did different about, like how different project you choose. Sometimes it's how differently you have approached the task. So there had been a lot of codes available on the GitHub. A lot of people think that, okay, I'm just going to grab it and add it on my resume. So I would, one suggestion I would tell people is to stand out, do it, see a lot of things, but bring something new to the table. And also uh, try different projects that no one has done. Might be you can use their logics. If someone has done a loan sanction prediction, don't do again a loan sanction prediction. Try to do a mood prediction. So they understand that there is a novelty and you actually did that.
Right.
So that's what I would suggest.
Right. So if I ask, like, what are the non-tech skills needed to become a data scientist, or suppose you are working in the role of data scientist, what are the non-tech skills needed while working?
So for a data scientist, they should be someone who need to be very adaptive and work in uncertain backgrounds, uncertain
Right.
situations. So you need to be having that adaptability and flexibility to wear multiple hats and do the tasks. And the other thing is you should be consistent with learning. What you learned yesterday, don't think that that would help you for 10 years.
Right, definitely.
And good communication skills would always be a game changer. And if sometimes, the company might ask you to work on uh, presentations or convey your points to the stakeholders, so try to have that creative storytelling and making it simpler to people to understand what you have done, so they don't lose the hook.
Definitely. So adaptiveness and consistency while learning. So that is one of the very important point, because other day I was talking to one more data scientist, senior data scientist. He was working with Find company. So
Okay.
even he mentioned the same point, like, you cannot say that I just need to learn machine learning, deep learning, SQL, Python, statistics and maths is and Tableau, Power BI, and that is sufficient, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to keep on learning, right?
Yeah.
According to the need, you have to keep on learning, and then you are the someone who is fit to the role. So
Yeah.
that adaptability and consistent while learning is very, and of course, good communication skill, presentation skills, creative while mentioning what exactly your role is and what exactly you do to the board members. That is again great. So yes, Avani, so it was nice talking to you, and you have shared your very inspiring journey from civil engineering to then data scientist. So, and congratulations and all the best. You're already working in this field, right? And currently you are located in USA, you have mentioned, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So it was nice talking to you.
Yes.
Fine.
Here, thanks for this opportunity, and I wish all the best to everyone who's making the career transitions. And I hope my insights did add some value to yours.
Definitely, definitely. You have given a lot of values in this 20 to 25 minutes of podcast. Fine. Thank you so much.